I am so sick and tired of movies that have all the reason in the world to be good, but are the exact antithesis of being good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like from the start, this movie, The Purge, Anarchy, had all the markings that they were going to fix what was wrong with the original Purge. It wasn't going to be set in one location, and it was going to explore the concept of crime being allowed on one night.
Yes.
By going from, location to location to location. And that seemed to be, okay, now we got that dud out of the way first. Let's move on to this. And what we got instead...
It was just more crap.
Yeah.
This is just the same movie.
I wouldn't say it's the same.
Well, I mean, it's a little different, but it's still the same. They didn't do anything with it.
They didn't do anything creative with it.
No.
They didn't do anything... Like, everything that they did that was different from the first movie was done incompetently.
Yeah. I mean, you could have switched these movies in either order. They could have come out the first one after this one. It doesn't matter.
No. So, yeah, we saw Anarchy the Purge.
Yeah, if you were thinking of seeing it, just go watch The Punisher.
Yeah, actually.
Go watch The Punisher again.
Which one? The Thomas Jane one or the... Or that other one? Oh, God, I forgot.
The one with John Travolta in it, and
that was Thomas Jane.
That's the only one I've seen. Was there?
Yeah, there was. There was a one in two, like a directed DVD movie. I think back in 2000.
Oh, that's right. The directed. How was that?
You know what?
Probably better than this.
Yeah, I would say so. Or hell, the Dolph Lundgren version was better than this. Yeah. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Ivan Drago was the Punisher.
That's news to me.
I know.
That seems amazing, but...
I know. Here's the thing. It's just a lame action movie. You know, like, that's...
Well, I mean, I don't know how good an actor Ivan...
well, it's not... But... All right, let's put it this way. There was no way that he could cover up his accent. Hey, Frank Castle, why do you...
I wouldn't even want him to. That's fine, Just leave it in there.
Hey,
same with Arnold. And leave it in there.
Hey, Frank Castle, you sound like you just stepped out of Norway. Or Sweden, rather.
Yeah.
It's like, Frank Castle, huh? Sure that's your name?
But yeah, this movie sucks. I mean, it's not the worst movie we've seen. It's not on the...
It's not... I don't...
it's not on the bottom of the list, I guess.
No, it's not on the bottom of the list, but I think this will have a special place for me as far as being a frustrating movie.
It's frustrating because it had so much promise. The whole idea had so much promise. I was just telling Matt about... I was thinking while watching, this could be an excellent video game.
It could.
It really could. Tell me your idea.
Like, the idea was that, like, every single video game in this series would be a different kind of game. Like, the first game would be survival horror, where you're just, barely able to escape people hunting you, and you have to get back to your house. And the idea is, whatever objective in the game it is, you have to do it in 12 hours. Like, throughout the entire night of the Purge. 12 real game hours. Sort of like...
It's got a 24 kind of thing going on. As far as urgency and real time.
Like urgency or like Dead Rising. You ever played Dead Rising?
I did not.
Well, Dead Rising has that same kind of idea about being in one location and having to, attain your objectives within a certain amount of time in game time.
Yes, and each game would have like a different character, probably, most likely. Each character has their own reason, their own purpose for what they're doing on the Purge night. Whether it's, actually purging, getting back at somebody like the guy tonight was, doing on a Punisher mission, or maybe he's anti-Purge. Maybe he's just defending his family,
there are so many reasons to make a game out of this, and so many reasons, and so many interesting scenarios that this idea and setting could bring to fruition. But in the hands of the creative director and writer, I forgot his name, but in his hands, it's just
what Michael.
No. Well, the movie's produced by Platinum Dunes, which Michael Bay owns. Yeah. But I don't
know who the actual director is.
I forgot his name, but in his hands, the movie just keeps falling short of the promise that the premise delivers. Or that the promise that the premise keeps spouting. Like, first off, the Purge is a lie.
It's
like,
bullshit.
Yeah, like first off, like I forgot in the first movie. Did they ever establish the fact that only certain weapons could be used?
I'm pretty sure they did not. I do not remember that coming up in the first movie.
Like in Anarchy, here in Anarchy, we learned that hey, all crime is legal except you can't use certain weapons.
It's like you can use any weapons you want except class 4 or above.
Class 4 or above, and you cannot target people who are...
And what's class 4 or above anyway? Because I saw people using actual mounted machine guns.
Gatling guns.
Actual mounted military-grade Gatling guns. They were using sniper rifles. I mean, how fucking fair is that? How do you get the Purge out with a sniper rifle, sit up on your roof and snipe people walking around?
There's a homer.
Yeah.
There's a homer.
Why would anybody go out on this night when there's snipers?
Exactly.
Go out there with your chain. That's what happened. They got these guys going out with their chains outside.
Like, people are going outside and we're gonna purge with a nail. Like, I got this bat with a nail in it.
They really got into the spirit of it, you know?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they take 2 steps out, then poof.
It's like a convention for a lot of these guys. They're all year. They're just getting their stuff ready, making it look nice.
Yeah, they're cosplaying. These people are cosplaying out while they're purging.
They totally got masks and
they got like demon like hides, and they just.
There's actually a lot of comedy that they totally missed out on.
They did. Like I said, the creative team behind this franchise is just completely inept and does not know what to do with this franchise that doesn't smack of incompetency or just uninspiredness. But regardless, that not only can they use some weapons, not all weapons, but some weapons, they cannot target specific people who are Purge exempt.
You know what it is? They can't use grade 4. It's missiles.
It's missiles. Ballistics or something like that.
Because then you'd have property damage that they'd have to pay for.
Or like anti-tank rifles, or like all right, hey, all crime is legal, but don't overthrow the government, or don't try to assassinate the president.
Yeah.
But all crime is legal, and then I think that was like a post mention in the credits, or rather not in the credits, but in the something post production when they realized, oh shit, wait. We kind of wrote a plot hole where the government in our movie just instituted a law where they could allow one night. It's like a dare, that's like a bro-douche dare. It's like, hey, I give you one night to try to overthrow my rule, huh? Come at me, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the president in this made-up movie universe wouldn't have taken that into account, and maybe it just had the White House completely surrounded with a lake of gasoline that's on fire.
Yeah, this is becoming the way it's becoming a freaking Saints Row concept or something.
Exactly.
We've got the president on his chopper and he's taunting people.
What if the president of the United States wants to purge?
Hey, you! What?
What? I'm the president of the goddamn United States. And then, there goes Nebraska.
Oops, purge Nebraska.
Nobody was living there anyway. Swag. But, you see, this would have made for an incredible comedy.
Oh, yeah, it would.
It would. And, of course, no, they're trying to make... Well, I think they took it in the right step where they stopped trying to make it into a horror movie and instead of made it into an action thriller.
Yeah.
Which I think is a step in the right direction, but it needs to, one, they need to fire the cinematographer on this, whoever worked on this movie, because that guy needs to be took out back by the shed and just beaten to death with lead pipes.
Needs to be purged.
Because this guy cannot frame a shot without it being 2 inches from the actor's face and jumbled like it was in a tumble dryer.
Yeah.
There's a scene where the concept is that there's a Punisher-like guy who's out for revenge against one guy, and he wants to kill him for basically killing his son. Well, he was a drunk driver. We'll call him Punisher. And then he runs into some hapless bastards who are stuck outside on Purge night. And against his better judgment, he basically ushers them and tries to drag them along to his ultimate revenge story. And they're going through the abandoned subway.
Oh, God, boy, was that forced. Because they had, 3 parties. There's the people who are... oh, yeah, that was fun. More interesting dialogue between these two people. You gotta tell your sister about us. Yeah, I don't want to tell my sister. I don't know if I want it to really be real yet. You know?
God,
It just keeps going.
It just like both like there's the family dynamics between these two between the two sets of characters that you just don't give
don't care.
Absolutely do not give a shit about. But the point I'm trying to make here is
whiny couple makes it to the same scene as the other two people,
like
and
a
the
mother,
Punisher,
like mother and daughter,
mother and daughters. There's all three groups come to the same place. The whiny couple goes into the Punisher's car after he leaves it. It's all a very convenient plot device that puts them all together, and they all end up going back to his car. It's like, hey, what are you guys doing in the car? What are you guys doing in the car? Let's all be friends.
You're a mean man, Punisher.
Yeah.
But
you're a mean man, and that's why you need to be on our side.
They had to go through this abandoned tunnel, and then all of a sudden, of course, like men on ATVs, just like, yeah, woo, and they're just like shooting up the blaze with like, I think they had a flamethrower and then bats and everything.
Yeah, and then you got Malcolm X the whole time through this movie's on TV spouting, you know.
But we'll get to him. We'll get to him. Well, but the point I'm trying to make here is that there's this entire scene where there's this claustrophobic chase scene through the scene, and the camera cannot. Look, we're talking about this close, where you can see the actor's stubble, and like, hold up, there, yeah, see, this right here is about 25-30% of the movie.
What should we do?
Oh, I don't know. What's this?
My ear.
What should we do? I don't know. What we are gonna do?
There's a lot of go, move.
That was such. Hold on, I gotta fix the camera now.
Put the thing back in order. Oh yeah, I do look like I got ears going on here.
But regardless, though, the cinematography is just some of the most some of the most nauseating, some of the worst I've seen in movies this year.
It's been terrible for the people right in the front.
Oh God!
I mean, I don't remember the theater having seats like that. What theater was this? It was theater 14.
Theater 14, or as I like to call it, Coliseum seating, where like it's very steep incline, very steep seating. So like where your knees are is basically where the guy in front of you's head would be. That kind of steepness.
And they got chairs that are almost like smack against the wall right in front of you. You have to go like this to see what's going on.
Like you have to go vertical. There's no other way. You have to
go out of that theater with a hurt neck.
You look like Clockwork Orange. You know, Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
But
having to watch this movie,
especially this movie, and if it's not for like the direction, first off, the framing was just all over the place. The direction was kind of aimless because there was not a single action scene in this movie where it just didn't feel like one. All right, I'll take that back. There was an action scene which I actually really liked, but compare it's one scene against every other action scene that was either one poorly thought out in terms of blocking and in terms of actual framing, and two, that wasn't just boring to sit through. Because one, if you can't really focus on a subject or you're way too close to the action, you can't see what is happening. You can only get like vague glimpses of what is trying to be, what is happening in the context of the scene. And if you're not getting all the information, you're just kind of glazing over, like all I hear is gunfire, people shouting, and go. And then like random flashes of a guy just kind of spraying bullets everywhere. That's your action scene. It's some of the most incomprehensible action beats I've seen all year. And even with Transformers 4 in mind, there was never a moment where you didn't know what was happening.
That's right.
I mean, you didn't know what robot was on screen at the exact same time, but at least you were never confused, like, where are these characters in relation to each other?
And by the way, the whole creepy mask thing that's been used so much, it's not scary anymore.
I don't think it even really was meant to be scary.
Yeah.
It was just...
It's meant to be scary. It's meant to be creepy, scary, whatever. That's why they do it.
Unsettling.
They've been doing that in so many horror movies lately. I'm just so tired of it.
Yeah. It's one of the, this is the kind of movie where you are just trying to find a reason to like it, and you keep coming up short every single time.
It's usually trying to get behind the Punisher character because everybody else is not just inconsequential. Really, they're not important. He is important. He has the drive here. He's the only one with a real drive.
He's the only one
with a purpose.
Other than to
survive the night.
Other than to not die, he was.
Yeah. And he's really the only one who's competent, pretty much.
You wanted him to actually succeed in the end, and I guess that's not really to the movie's. That's not really to say much of the movie because every other character in this movie is just dead weight.
Yeah.
Completely dead weight, and that might be the point. But here's the thing about characters who are dead weight. Just because they serve a purpose doesn't mean you can't not hate them. Because you can. You can hate them.
Yeah.
And we did. Especially the couple who literally had no reason to be in the movie, other than to be dead weight.
And filler, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the whole time you're kind of hoping that, well, you know that he isn't going to, but please, go ahead, keep driving, leave them.
Please, leave them.
Oh, and by the way, the fucking cars in this, God, that was stupid. My car is something. He didn't even bother explaining. He's like, something wrong with the engine or something. I don't know.
Like the movie kept pulling bullshit reason after bullshit reason to not have the characters be in a car.
Oh yeah, the bullets that we just got hit with stopped the car because they're penetrating bullets.
Yeah, they're penetrating bullets, which doesn't explain how the bullets that crashed the window didn't cause you to be dead. It's like, oh, they conveniently missed conveniently missed you, but got the engine block.
And how about the goons with the masks at the beginning when they cut the wire for their car?
Oh yeah,
they totally did that just so that the plot could exist, or at least so they could have more people in the plot. They totally did that just because they let them go.
Actually, what I really don't get is if they cut the cord on that car, which the couple's car, which caused them to be stranded to begin with, why did it work for about 10 miles and then it stopped working?
Yeah,
because they cut the power steering like 10, 15 miles ago. Why would it suddenly stop working? It would stop working as soon as they got back into the car after they did it.
Yeah,
there's just no reason why it would work for about 15 minutes and then it would stop. It's just this sort of transparent, this transparent writing that just really just reveals just how creatively bankrupt this director-writer is. Because it was written and directed by the same guy. And how creatively bankrupt it is, but just having all of these crutches of, all these screenplay crutches to explain, to explain why the characters are outside, why they have to be in the exact same vicinity as the Punisher. Because at the end of the day, I mean, spoilers, the husband of the couple dies, and then the funniest part of the movie, she's cradling him, and then she just goes, "I want to purge." Wow, the cycle of violence continues. I heard arguments for this movie, or at least arguments for The Purge in general, as being what's the word I'm looking for? For being satire, for being over-the-top satire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard over-the-top satire of American, need for violence in the American.
I don't know what gave you that impression. I mean, it's completely realistic. It's very reasonable.
Well, I've heard
I'm being satirical.
I know, but the idea is that the reason why they're so over the top and so completely, blunt with their themes, one of the very first scenes is the mother and daughter getting accosted by some drunk fat guy with a shotgun who said "This is my right! This is my right!" And you're like, okay, I get what that's supposed to be about, as he's about to rape her. So
yeah. That was actually one of the most convincing parts of the movie.
It was, because, I love, if the movie tried to be, frame The Purge as an absolute bad. People are all right with killing other people. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've already established that in cinema, but what we can never get behind it, what's the one true evil thing that a person could do to another person and could never be forgiven?
Right.
Is rape.
Right.
Exactly. So when you see that happening on screen and you realize, wait a minute, there's not going to be any legal repercussions for this, then you realize, wow, the Purge really needs to go. This is not helping anybody. I mean, this is not worth whatever peace this allegedly brings. And if they really show, like, the real, like, if they want to be brutal, and this movie did want to be brutal.
This movie had many ways it could have gone, and it didn't choose any of them.
No.
That's the problem.
Exactly. Like, they wanted to be brutal, like Serbian film brutal.
Yeah.
If they took that route and showed, like, the
actual rape, not the implication of it,
not the the start of it.
I'm not saying you have to get
I'm not saying
X-rated or anything, but I mean I'm saying that
if you're wanting
get visceral,
it's about I'm not saying like show the rape, but I am saying if you're going to start it, have it continue to drive the point of that this is a bad thing. Try to take the issue on full force. Don't just skirt by and and just leave us with he was going to rape her, but then thank God that he was killed. It's like, because then it's completely missing the point of what they were trying to make the Purge out to be. Or at least
what
I hope the filmmakers wanted to make the Purge out to be. Because I swear, if there was anyone who worked on that movie who honestly thought that the Purge was a good idea, or at least has some sembling of the notions like, yeah, maybe there should be a Purge, because I know there's a lot of people I'd like to kill, then that guy needs to be, you're not working in movies no more, man.
Purge the person who made this.
Yeah, Purge. Everyone purge! Everyone purge!
Everyone purge! Oh God, the song at the end of the credits. America.
They turned this grinding dubstep soundtrack, and then cast against choir singing "America the Beautiful."
A way to really just laid on thick.
I don't think they even laid it on. They just kind of slapped it on, just like, get it?
Yeah.
But still, this doesn't make, everything we had described to you, it doesn't make this movie as frustrating as we found it. It's when you have scenes like the night vision, manhunt scene. That was a good scene.
Yeah.
Because at least that was creative, and at least
oh God, but
it did explore. it did explore something that
the manhunt scene.
Oh yeah.
You see, this is where I felt like they were starting to go into the really comedic satire.
Yeah.
The
idea is that there's this secret gala of rich assholes who want to purge.
But it came out awkward because it was the only part in the movie where it really did that.
Yeah, I know.
And it was just really, it was a truck. It was just a freaking semi right into that scene. It just...
I had no idea, where they get abducted by the masked people finally, and you find out that they're not there to purge them necessarily. They're there to abduct them for some rich assholes who are holding a secret gala.
Yeah, by the way, the rich are always, they're evil.
Oh, yeah.
The rich are evil. And that's just the same message as Brick Mansions. The rich are trying to screw us all over, and we got to fight back.
Ugh.
And it won't, this is the Purge. We're against the Purge, he says, the Malcolm X guy. But we're totally gonna kill people to stop it. We're gonna, and then there's it's like she says, I want to purge, and they're like, yes you do. Here's a gun. By the way, we're anti-purge.
Well, I think we're kind of jumping across the plots here for a moment.
I know.
So
that's what I do.
Let's try to focus this a little bit. But they get abducted towards the end of the movie, and then they're brought before a secret gala of rich people that. They all want to purge and play the most dangerous game, hunting man. Yeah. So what they do is it's just they take the highest bidders, give them some night vision goggles and which look like sunglasses, which really stupid to me.
Yeah, at first it was what? It's dark out and you're gonna wear sunglasses? What?
Assholes.
Okay.
But
and then you got the old lady, the white hair.
Oh yeah, it's just
that speech was where she's telling she's getting all the rich people together and she's talking about
auctioneering.
Auctioneering. Oh yeah, do we have one for
200,000? And And then she's giving like this, like, oh, if I may suggest, the double hot six.
Oh yeah, she says the Mauser X150. It's got a silver inlaid handle or whatever that's made from God.
So, with a hair trigger so sensitive, you would swear it was built by God himself.
Gabriel breathed his...
So, yeah, she knew what movie she was in, but...
Yeah.
So the scene is that they're being hunted in the dark by a bunch of rich assholes with, like, Uzis and machetes and, you know, and, like, night vision. And, of course, Punisher just cleans the floor with them. But it's good because, one, it's not unique, but at least it's a more creative setup than we have ever had so far in any of these movies. And two, it is, well, for the most part, it's shot all right because the cramped framing that was the sort of the norm throughout the series works in this sort of scenario. You want to be cramped and kind of following him and as they're creeping along. That works. That does not work in a narrow tunnel being shot at with flamethrowers and shotguns on ATVs. That doesn't work. This works. There needed to be more scenes like that. There needed to be more... I keep coming back to this.
It needed to be more indoors, I think.
I think so. Or at least, you know...
If they're going to do indoors, cramped, shoot, then they need to stick to it.
Or if they're going to go outdoors, frame it like they're outdoors. I know that this movie's probably shot on a budget. It's probably why there was never... All right, the only actor in this movie that anyone would ever recognize from anywhere is the... crap, I keep forgetting... I keep forgetting the actor's name, but the character, you know, Omar from The Wire, he was also in RoboCop. Right. He's in this movie as this sort of underground guy against the Purge, and apparently, like, for no reason whatsoever, saves their bacon in the middle of in that gala night fight during that manhunt scene. They literally kick in the door and they start, like, you know, shooting up the place. Yeah. I'm thinking, like, one, where the hell did they come from and how did they know where to go? And two, why weren't they here sooner?
Yeah.
They were just there to save, you know, the main characters from, like, an army of goons to realize, oh, all the rich assholes that paid to play are, you know, running for their lives because they realize, oh, no, now they got guns and night vision as us. So I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, it was a lazy hack way of entering that character because all throughout the movie we just see like blips of him on screen, like hijacking broadcasts to relay a message like the Purge is not to pure our sins, but for us to kill each other while the rich get richer.
Yeah.
And I am so goddamn sick and tired of movies thinking that they can talk about the 1%ers and talking about like
just
the growing
shoehorning it into their movies.
Like on one,
because they know that's, you know, going to hit home.
Because it's topical. It's not that they're saying anything about it that makes you step back and think. This is a dumb action movie, and it's trying to say something smart, or at least say something that's topical.
Yeah.
And what are they saying about the movie? What are they saying about the people who are so angry with the 1%ers or the Mitt Romneys of the world and such? What are they saying about these people? They're saying that. One, are they saying that it's getting to the point where, you know, violent revolution is going to happen? Are they saying that it's only by shedding the blood of the rich that we can, you know, like, it's in the blood of tyrants and patriots alike must spill into the soil for the tree of liberty to flourish. It is its natural manure or something.
That was the message.
I think so.
Because they didn't, you know, rectify it. They didn't, like, they didn't have a turning point.
No, like, they go in guns blazing.
Yeah.
Punisher takes the mother and daughter to go kill that drunk driving asshole who killed his son, and leaves Omar with the wife who is, you know, cradling her dead husband, giving her a gun after she says, I want to purge. That's it.
Yeah, there's no discovery. It's just... So that's the message.
They're saying they're against the Purge. Well, no, they're not against the Purge. They're against poor people killing poor people. But if
they say they're against the Purge.
But
that's not.
But they're totally cool with it. They're totally cool with the idea of poor people killing rich people.
It just needs to be a purge of a certain people.
a purge of
class of people.
Certain like upper class people. Like let's make those blue bloods bleed their blue into the gutter, and if they had one rich person in this movie or any of this or this soon to be franchise who was actually a good person, then that would show a level of maturity, and it would show a level of thoughtfulness that I don't think ever can. When was the last time? When was the last time you ever saw an action movie where there was a rich person who was good? Really think about that.
Schindler's Fist.
Yeah, technically, Oscar Schindler he owned a plane. He was rich, and
it wasn't an action movie, really.
Well, it wasn't an action movie. I don't know.
They didn't get Nicolas Cage, so it wasn't an action movie.
Like, no, it's...
Well, it's been a while. I can't recall right now.
Technically, maybe Richie Rich, if you want to stretch the definition of an action movie. Oh, here it is. Iron Man. Iron Man was maybe the...
Iron Man, yes.
Iron Man and Batman. They're the only rich people who are good.
Oh my God, we're idiots. I mean, it actually took us like, what are you, a rich person who, does good stuff, fights crime, actually gets into the nitty gritty. Maybe someone who's like a superhero.
And maybe his parents have died and took him trained by Liam Neeson. But aside from Bruce Wayne and I can't believe I'm blinking on Tony Stark, besides those two characters, there really isn't like an unequivocally good rich person.
Yeah.
In an action movie. That is, I mean, not even main characters, just like good.
Yeah.
It really,
it's like this movie isn't even propaganda.
I know.
It's just using it to get people to relate to it, and that's it.
It's just it's like using buzzwords like, well, not really buzzwords, but using like buzz imagery, mimetic.
Hitting the button.
Hitting the mimetic imagery of like rich people being like bloodthirsty, completely out of their element. Like, I want to kill somebody, but I don't want to endanger myself by doing it. In fact, one of the things that really set the tone for this is that the mother and daughter combo, their grandfather, like her father and the grandfather, literally kills himself for the money. Like, a bunch of rich people wanted to purge, but they want to be safe while they're doing it, so he sells his life to a bunch of rich people to kill him, and in return his family gets $100,000. And like, after it happens, never brought up again in the movie. Never. This is like, on one hand, I don't expect too much character motivation. I don't expect too many character moments in movies like this. But on the other hand, when you have stuff like that happen, and you have stuff like like everything political about this movie, and you realize that it's handling it with the maturity of a dumb action movie, then it's just, you wish this movie was smarter. You do. Like, I mean, I could get behind a dumb action movie if it doesn't have any aspirations of being more than just a dumb action movie. I mean, Transformers 4 was annoying as all fuck, and I would never want to see that movie again, but at least it never tried to say anything.
Brick Mansions was feeding the same crap. Was force feeding the same crap down your throat as this movie was, but it was still enjoyable because it didn't have aspirations.
No, it didn't have... One, it was not nearly as... It didn't have any character moments, to say the least.
My Band! That was some good,
Yeah. I mean, that was... I mean, you can't take that...
conflict.
Yeah, that was about as direct a conflict as
two men. It was, I admire the simplicity of it. Two men, asserting their dominance over each other, over
a van.
Over a van. And
who has to ride bitch and shotgun.
It's primordial. It's very...
that's... Like I said, that's at least acceptable. I mean, that's more annoying in my opinion, but granted that. But here, the action isn't good. It's about as dumb can be. but it's trying to say something that, or it's trying to use imagery and talk about subjects that it has no real grounding to state. I mean, this isn't like I'm trying to think of an action movie that was smart and did have good things to say, and I keep coming back to The Raid 2. The Raid 2 was a brutal action movie, had some great things to talk about, like the law, like the nature of law and the nature of humanity, and it did it in such a way that, like, you're just thinking, like, why can't more action movies be like this?
I mean, excellent martial arts aside.
Excellent martial arts aside,
why can't more action movies?
Why can't, all right, if you're going to have these moments and you're going to have like all these things in your movie about like that affect real life, then handle them with actual, address them. Don't just slap them in there because it just because it seems timely. Or at least you would think we'll get the audience on your side, when you don't even know what side you're really on in the movie. Not really. The movie has no idea what it's saying about, you know, the nature of like people rising up against the proletariat. It has no idea. It just likes the idea of a bunch of people killing each other, and then somebody had like tried to say, like, why don't we have a plot point where the rich are using the purge to get rid of the poor people? It's like, okay, well, then what does that mean about our narrative? Or what does that mean in regards to how we approach the film? Like,
why was the missile set to go off at the Brick Mansions district?
The 1% evil. 1% evil.
Trying to kill the people. Yeah.
This is... And honestly, the plot is paper thin when you get right down to it. And after, like... they go through hell on earth. They finally arrive at the drunk driver's residence. He doesn't kill him. Even though you're kind of led to believe he did.
I knew he wasn't going to kill him.
But
that was so obvious. This whole plot was stupid.
But like I'm confused. But what I'm really confused is the series of events. Okay, no, bear with me. Enters the man's house. Punches him in the face while he was sleeping, drags him out of bed. His wife is screaming. He's like, "You shut the fuck up!" And he asks him a question about, like, "Did you see my boy?"
He said, "I'm here for you, not your kids."
Not your kids.
Drags him.
And then grabs a knife and just shoves it right in his face. "Did you see my kids?" And then, like, "I'm gonna make you pay!" And then cut to outside and you hear a scream. And you're thinking, okay, he did do it. And then he walks out and he has this relieved look on his face.
He's got that post-purge look on his face.
So you're thinking, okay, if he did something so brutal to him that they couldn't show it. And then he gets capped by...
that one dude.
By like some random dude who's been basically following him and all the people that he's been protecting because some rich asshole hired him to abduct them. And basically is like, we're going to follow you to the ends of the earth, or at least until the purge ends. And finally, you know, just says, there's an unwritten rule of the purge. Is like, you don't save anybody. People are killing each other enough, and we need to facilitate that.
Yeah, he just delivers that to you to explain to you what's going on in case you didn't, kind of figure it out. And...
Again, an obnoxious close-up. An obnoxious close-up. And right as about to kill him, he gets capped right in the forehead, and it turns out the drunk driver saves him. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking, why would he do that?
Right?
Like,
no, I thought, because the guy, he feels guilty about, killing his son.
I don't know.
And then the guy comes in there and, he thinks he's going to get killed because it's the purge. And then when the guy doesn't kill him, he's like, wow, that was a pretty cool dude.
So, like, if he
could have killed me right there, he had every right to, but he didn't because...
Well, if he didn't kill him, then what was this whole relieved look on his face? You'd think that he would be frustrated with himself because...
He was like, I have been waiting to go in there and threaten him with mean language and a knife all year.
Like, he spent this entire night going through hell to get to this guy's house.
And I honestly thought when he was talking to that somebody had his son. From the beginning, that's what it sounded like. He was like, I'm doing this for my son. Do you know what could have happened tonight? What you could have caused tonight? not give. Oh, they were supposed to get a car.
Yeah,
that's a part of the deal. He didn't do all of this out of the kindness of his heart to saving those people. They said they'd give him a car if they got to the destination, and of course they lied, didn't have a car. But he was like, my son. What do you know what you could have done tonight? And I'm like, well, once they've established that his son's already dead, what could it have done tonight? Not let him go all the way over there and threaten the guy with a knife and then walk out of the house? That's what could have happened?
Like the daughter and the daughter of the mother-daughter, duo is trying to say like killing doesn't solve anything. You don't need to purge. You don't need to purge and blah 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 blah. Yeah. That's just like. Then what was all of tonight for?
Yeah.
What was like he found forgiveness in the fear with a knife, stuck towards his face? It's like no. Like if he emerged out of that house just like frustrated with himself, or it's just like he can't believe that he allowed him to live, I would have let that go. I would have let that like okay.
They led you to believe that his son was alive. They totally did. Because why would he be saying, you know what you could have done tonight? I'm doing this for my son.
No, because remember that they didn't do that because they actually showed the hand early because right before the purge starts, his ex-wife walks in and then looks at those convenient news clippings that he keeps right by the door that says like, all right, man cleared of charges under DOI and
okay,
and then you're like, okay, now we know, all right, which was again more sloppy screenwriting.
Yeah,
but
I missed
that part. But the real grind your teeth moment is that it's just that look. You're led to believe that he did kill him, but he didn't.
This movie,
but he did it, and then like he still saves him at the end, and it's just like
this movie doesn't do things for. It doesn't have things happen for the reasons that they would happen. It does it just for the sake of having them happen. It's just trying to do the classic surprise, the switch. Yeah. You think something's going to happen, it doesn't happen. They don't
like when he got shot, when the guy got shot in the head. I thought it was one of the either
one
the mother
of the
or the daughter.
It was probably the daughter. That's what I was thinking, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't. It was that guy.
They just did what they did to surprise you.
Like
there was no actual reason behind it. They just did it so that you would be surprised.
And I'll grant you. It was surprising.
It was surprising,
but not in a good way.
Even more surprising was that they didn't follow up on it. So there's a surprise too.
Yeah, like this is where modern filmmaking is going.
Yeah.
This is how action movies are going to be shot. Nothing can sober you from a movie-going experience than seeing a movie that opens like a doorway to the future and seeing a whole depressing hallway of all promise, no delivery action movies. I started this series with the best of intentions of broadening horizons. Now I know exactly how narrow they are. So would you recommend seeing this movie or not?
Oh, God. Now, if you... purge this movie from a... Let me go and purge myself.
It's like, this movie showed a better premise, but again, in the hands of in these hands, they just cannot... Like, if somebody was lifted off, the director and writer was lifted off and somebody else was going in, then I'll give the third a chance. Because... this guy can't do it.
Yeah.
We gave him 2 movies to make something interesting out of the own premise that he created. Just nothing. It's just
somebody created.
Well, somebody created.
Don't think it was this guy.
And
pretty sure that whoever came up with the premise was let off.
Probably. And who knows? Like I forgot who originally directed and wrote the original Purge. Might have been a different guy altogether.
Don't watch either of the Purges.
Because
they're shit. Don't watch them. Go watch The Punisher.
Go watch The Punisher. Go
watch The Punisher or watch these and be punished.
Watch The Raid 2, alright? It's on DVD right now.
Yeah, go watch The Raid.
The Raid and The Raid 2, but just don't see Anarchy.
Go watch The Raid, go watch The Punisher, go watch anything but this.
Yeah.
But don't watch, Tammy. That's even worse.
You know, we were thinking about like going to see Sex Tape, but then I believe your words were like, I don't want to see another horrible comedy. Well, you want to see a horrible action thriller?
I had heard that this might be better than the first. That they were actually going to, make the movie The Purge.
Nope.
Not just generic shitty action film number 1,349,349.
But
that's what we got.
So, what can you do? Till next time.